Hi there. I thought that I would just sit down and show you what's new in my wardrobe. This is since the summertime, just about. So it's kind of a collective thrift haul. 2 items are not secondhand, but everything else is. A lot of dark colored items. I'm realizing looking at this like pile of things, I didn't realize this was like a theme. I'm wearing 2 of the newest things. So I'm wearing a pair of earrings. They're little silver chunky square hoops that I found at a thrift store. I really like these. Kind of a different look from a round hoop. This sweatshirt was in one of my latest videos. I found it at a local thrift store. It's a nice Danish brand. It has raglan sleeves, this kind of mock turtleneck, and it's a nice thick material. I have been wearing this a lot since I got it. I also recently bought myself this wool cardigan with stripes. So it has like gray and pink stripes. Very nice long sleeves, which is a big bonus. And then it has these cute little pockets that match the stripes. I don't mind the feeling of wool on my skin. I kind of like it when it's a little bit rough. It was a little bit expensive for a thrift purchase, like a normal, not vintage, not curated store. But that's what you get from like the center of town kind of thrift stores. It is a nice Danish brand though, so. And I do like having to think a little bit extra about my purchases even if they are secondhand. I think that's kind of the vibe I'm moving into, that I want to really contemplate every purchase. And I really have been cleaning out my wardrobe and getting rid of things that I no longer really feel are part of my style. It's just a black top, but it's not just a black top because it has like a cowl neck effect. This is also a nice Danish brand. It's a viscose shirt. Like the viscose is kind of sneaking up on me, the Cupro and viscose. All of the slinky tops that I've been seeing. So I bought this without trying it on. It was a little bit of a risk. I was rushing out of the thrift store and it was in the changing room. I saw it. I knew the brand was good and I just took a chance on it, and I'm really glad I did because I love this shirt. This other top I got is one that I bought in Lisbon when I was there with my parents. I bought it in a Humana, not their vintage, like curated, but a normal one. And it's this cotton shirt with a hood. And when the hood is down, it does kind of add a little bit of an element of the like draped cowl neck as well. It's asymmetric on the side, which I don't understand why. I don't know if someone cropped it and did it a little bit weirdly. This is more of a summer piece, so I haven't worn it quite so much yet. It also has these like flared sleeves. I quite like this tone of blue, and it was definitely the construction that got to me. It also has like kind of a V. It's a shoulder bag. It has this really interesting construction where you can adjust how triangular it is by adjusting this part. It's a really nice soft leather. It has both a shoulder strap and then this strap where you can wear it crossbody, but it does have kind of like a ladder effect with both of the straps being attached to the same part. So when you wear it crossbody, you have this one in a weird spot. It's a very dark blue. My mom just sees this as black. I understand that, but to me it's definitely blue. And it has cotton lining, which I really like. One big room. You close it with a little magnetic snap button. There's a lot of versatility in how this looks based on how much you have in it and how much you adjusted these bits. I've attached these 2 key rings that I made myself. I think in my everyday student life, I need to be able to bring a laptop in my bag, and that's why this one hasn't been a favorite. But for running errands and just bopping around, this one's really good. So this hat is one that my dad bought for me at a store from new. It's dead stock fabric from the 80s, and it's this like brimless cap in a really nice like herringbone woven fabric. I really like the dark green color of it, but it's kind of a weird seasonal thing because it's both wool but also it doesn't cover my ears, so it's not for the freezing cold, but it's not for summer either. So I still have to find the perfect way to wear this, but I love it very much and I'm looking forward to a season where it feels more appropriate to wear. The other new thing is also a gift, and it is this pair of brown wool leggings. I've worn them almost daily since I got them at the end of December. I got them from my boyfriend's parents as a little Christmas present. They're from a Danish brand and I definitely recommend them. They are perfect for wearing skirts or loose pants in the winter. And I love this color so much that I actually just want to wear them all the time. I will definitely consider buying myself another pair in a different color just for the element they add to my wardrobe. I also bought myself a pair of brown tights. These are from Wolford, which is so nice. I immediately just in the thrift store felt how nice these were. I was like, ooh. And they're a lot more comfortable. I'm like, wow, I forgot what wearing a pair of tights that were the right size for you feels like. And I thought all tights just felt awful and were constantly moving down. But no, these are amazing and I love the color of them, and it's kind of rebooted my relationship with skirts as well, because I've gotten more into my skirts in general, and then I think it's interesting to wear skirts or dresses without pants underneath. That's like a reverse revelation for me because I usually wear them with pants underneath. But these, and then a good boot. That one. This next skirt I really, really, really adore. It goes to below my knees and it has tiny little ridiculous pockets. It's a dark blue. It has a very nice construction with kind of a broad waistband and then these ribbons that run all the way up to the top and actually comprise the belt loops. And then there are extra panels of fabric added in between those ribbons. Such a large amount of fabric in this. And then the zipper is also quite short. I have to put the skirt on from over my head instead of from over my legs because of my hips. I love the sensation of these extra panels added especially. A denim wraparound skirt with this kind of like physical print. It's like flocking, is that what it's called? Polka dot vibe from afar. It's quite long, which I love. And then with the blue denim, it's quite a thick, like stiff denim. No pockets or anything, but it's quite vintage, made in Denmark. Then I have two dresses. This one is quite interesting. It's like shaped like a drop or like a pear. And it's from Max Mara. It has two big pockets in the front. It was definitely the construction as well as the fabric that sold me on this. It's a mix of cotton and some bamboo fibers and then 6% silk, which I thought was lovely. And it has a V-neck, but only in the back. And everything about the construction of this just, that's like the buzzword for this video, is just construction, but that's something I really care a lot about. The material composition, of course, the colors, and then the construction. It's quite worn down here at the bottom. It needs some repair work. The second dress is this one, which I found quite recently. It's this very crinkly cotton. It has some, I think, sun damage on the right shoulder and sleeve. So I've considered dyeing it. I want to find a dye that matches this, like charcoal gray, because I don't want to change that. This one also has so many special construction details. It has two pockets in the front. It has a drawstring on the bottom. You can button it all the way to the top and have it be a little bit of like a mock neck, like standing up, or you can fold it and have it be like a dress shirt. And it has this gorgeous shape on the back. Because it's like a dark color, I'm not sure how well it shows up, but it's almost shaped like an eye. And then all of the buttons look like they have a little grommet almost, also on the pockets. I really like the way this dress looks on its own, but I also really like it on top of pants. And I also wore it with pants underneath and then the sweatshirt on top. And we got some guests that were unannounced and they asked me why I was dressed so nicely. So that gave me a little boost of confidence in how nice this dress is. Then jackets. I really love jackets. It cannot be understated. They take up so much space and it's like not a necessary thing, but I love them so much. As you can imagine, like the construction of jackets is often just so delicious, so good. And that is the reason why I got this jacket. Also because Maya, who I was thrifting with, kind of convinced me to. She was like, are you ever going to see something like this again? I was like, probably not, I don't know. Because I was like, oh, I don't need this, you know, I have jackets enough. She was like, you should do it. Also charcoal gray, even darker, almost black. And it's wool. It has kind of a weird, also kind of a teardrop pear shape. It's the like length and shape that throws me off a little bit with this. I've considered whether getting it cropped to be like a jacket instead of a coat would make it perfect, instead of something that I like hesitate to wear a little bit, especially if I'm wearing dresses. I think that the way it cuts the dress off looks really weird. It has these like folds added to the wool all the way down, and they go into this like high neck, and it's quite a simple construction. It also has kind of balloon sleeves, and it's a double zip, so you can unzip it from the bottom, which I have done sometimes because it's so tight. Like the circumference at the bottom of this jacket is quite small. That's the thing I can't really get my head wrapped around. So there are some things about this I'm like still working out whether to keep it. We're working on it. It's also quite heavy because it is wool. It feels amazing. It has this very specific, you know, the like matte kind of dry feeling of a good wool coat. If you know, you know. I talked about this jacket in my favorites video, my Fjellraun en Orak, and was really happy to hear from someone that they really liked wearing theirs. I have since waxed this, which I really enjoyed that process. It was also a little bit frustrating. I ended up using an iron. It didn't work with my hairdryer. I really want to put effort into putting this on and wearing this as my jacket for errands and everyday stuff, but I also want to wear it for more excursions and hikes and such, but I just haven't gone on any really since I bought it. So I love this color. It reminds me of my grandfather. I've already said that, and it's a really good quality jacket. I'll have it probably for the rest of my life. This jacket is a blazer. It's a black blazer with some little fluffs of primary colors, but they are kind of like falling off. I looked up this brand and they still sell this blazer, and on the website it says that it's made to change over time, so the little bubbles are gonna fall off, and that's just how it is. I thought that was kind of a lousy excuse to make a product that deteriorates over time, but whatever. I wouldn't mind this one being completely black either. So it's just like this quite simple in the cut, like quite square blazer, and it's big enough to wear sweaters underneath, hoodies, stuff like that. I'm not generally into blazers. I think they can look very corporate very quickly, but I think this one is fun to play around with. I did wear it to my internship interview, which I got. I have these buttons or badges attached. This one I made myself. This one I got from a very friendly woman in Slovakia. Lindsay Ann Watson made this one, and I bought it ages ago, and now I'm really happy I did. It has shoulder pads as well. I just think this is really fun. Like a little bit silly, very fun. I have worn it a few times, but it is a little bit too cold for the season. On that corporate note, I have bought 2 thrift store ties. This one's fun because it has polka dots, but the material is very synthetic, so it's not my favorite. This one is wool. Still haven't figured out how to wear it, like truly. I also wore this at the interview with the blazer, just kind of playing on the professionalism. Also added a button to this one. This is also one I made myself at a button workshop, a little collage. Not my favorite, not always my cup of tea, but it's fun to have the option to do this. And then other accessories and stuff, I have this belt I got. It's like a soft, real leather, quite thick, and it has 2 holes, which is a detail I really loved. It's this very dark brown My other main belt I have is camel colored, and I don't always like that. I really like the color of this, and then also the details of having 2 prongs and like 2 holes. Thought that was a nice touch. I have 2 new pairs of shoes, new to me. They're Clark's little leather ballerinas, Mary Jane ballerinas, with these crossing straps. They're not seasonally appropriate, so I have not worn them yet. You can see that on the sole as well. I've been looking for a pair like this for the summer because the other pair of ballerinas I had, kind of sporty ballerinas, they have just crumbled. They do not hold up anymore, so I wanted a proper pair in leather instead of a fabric. And then these boots I got from my grandmother. She used to wear these, but they're a little bit big on her, and then also a little bit heavy because they have this platform sole. I feel very cool stomping around in them, and I don't have any shoes in this kind of dark camel brown color. They're from a very nice Danish shoe brand that she always talks about. Then I thrifted this statement necklace. I've swapped out the cord for this one, which is also thrifted, and I think it's gotten some heat damage. I thought it was part of the design that it has some bubbles in it, but it's some heat damage, I think, on the lacquer on this. Literally loud, but then also visually loud. I don't always wear this, but I think it's fun with this simple outfit. Next thing is this ring I got as a gift from my former employer, and this is actually one that I've worn in the store sometimes when we had to like rep the inventory. Very like feminine in a way that I don't normally go for, but I do like it, and I think it's fun to have something that's a little bit different. Oval, like long hoop earrings, old pilgrim. I really like the way these look actually. They are just a little bit heavy. Last jewelry piece is this. Not the chain itself, but this pendant, the shell. A lonely clip-on earring. It didn't have its partner, so I thought it was perfect for using as a necklace. You might have seen it in my favorites video. I was wearing it. I also bought these glasses. They are very 70s. They're like a different shape, but similar in like the clear plastic to the ones that I wear every day. You know, I can't see anything when I wear them. They have a very strong prescription. They do make me look a little bit like heavy and sad. I feel like they look cool with the pilgrim earrings. That makes them look like very intentional, but I think quickly they can look unintentional. I did originally consider getting my prescription in these just for a wildly different look, but I also think that they would look really cool as sunglasses. But I'm not sure if you can get prescription sunglasses in frames that you bring on your own. I've only tried prescription clear lenses. This last category is stuff that I've made for my wardrobe. This is just an upgrade. I needle felted these polka dots onto these wool slippers that I've had for years, and I mended one part already with a pink dot, and it was only that pink dot, and I thought, wait, these would be so cute with polka dots, and I'm really happy I did that. They feel very fresh to me now, like it's a new thing in my wardrobe. It's quite a simple thing to do. I recommend it. I have this one, which is a t-shirt. It's a quite tight-fitting t-shirt, so there's something about that that's a little bit confusing. I'm not sure if I should make it a long sleeve, just to make it more wearable as something really warm. This brown stripe, for example, is like 4 different tones of brown, but you don't see it because they're all mixed together. It looks like one color. And I thought that I did that quite successfully. And it has this like boat neck that I really love. This stripe is the only one that has like a gradient, and the rest I went for more like blocks of color. I still haven't done any of the last touch, which is to weave in the ends. So I'm not really looking forward to that. I think that's also part of why I haven't worn this yet. My idea for why I wanted to make this was actually based on the thing I finished just before that, which was this puppy. I shared this on my Instagram. This is a a sweater that I started on back in 2020. Then I got mad at it and I left it in my collection of yarn for 4 years. I picked it back up again and finished it. So this is like a perfect like tight fitting long sleeve t-shirt but as a knit piece. It's this really lovely soft yarn that I don't know what's from. It's something I thrifted and then unraveled and then re-knit. I love the concept of knitting a basic piece like this for myself. I like the color, I like the material, but I want the torso to be longer. It's a little too cropped on me. It like rides up and leaves my belly exposed to the weather. It makes me feel cold because it's not long enough. It doesn't feel like I would want a long sleeve t-shirt to feel. I don't have any more yarn of this, so I think I am going to have to undo the sleeves and do some decreases so that they are less broad. Like they are quite wide at the end here, which is also not perfect because then more cold air can get in. So I think it's gonna work out pretty good. It's just frustrating because I was just so happy that I had finished it. These sleeves did take quite a while on both sides, and I think if I do decreases then the smallest circular needle I have isn't gonna be small enough in circumference, so I'll have to do double pointed needles and that just takes more time to knit. But I will do the sleeves, decrease the width so that I will end up having more yarn that I can then change the torso with. So this is not done yet and I wish it was, and if it were the way that I'm imagining in my head it would be perfect. As I was working on this I imagined having a knit t-shirt that I could layer it with. The sleeves would poke out like that, and I do like these pieces together very much. I think that's very fun. And that's the last final thing. I'm working on a pair of yellow socks for myself from the same basic pattern as my red socks that I've talked about a few times on here that I love very much. A very basic sock. And that's one of my things I want in 2025 is to knit my basic everyday socks. So I get to wear wool socks all the time. That became my knitting plans for this year. I also have plans to sew a few pieces, and I do have a few shirts that I bought bearing in mind that I wanted to alter them. So this one I thought was a skirt at first actually. I was so confused about these holes. You can wear this as a skirt. It just is a shirt. It's cotton and modal. This is like a little bit strange in the way that it's just completely boxy. So I want to cut this piece off and make a more snug fitting band around the waist that the top fabric kind of gathers a little bit around, if that makes sense. It's quite a simple sewing project. That was everything that's made its way into my wardrobe that I haven't already shown off properly in a video. I also bought some stuff in September that I showed in my A Month of Thrifting vlog, but I thought that the rest of these things deserved a little highlight. It's always fun to go through and kind of see some patterns of what I pick out that I don't notice in the moment. I have a few things on my wish list for my wardrobe, although it is quite full. I have a few things that I am just yearning for at the moment. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you had anything that was a favorite piece in this haul or video, and I'll see you in the next video.